Jodi Arias stabbed her ex-boyfriend 29 times, slit his throat, and shot him in the head. Then she showed up to his funeral and acted like a grieving friend. But that was just the beginning of her twisted lies. Welcome back to Crime Secrets, where we dive deep into the most shocking murder cases that captivated the world. Today's case became a media sensation that divided America, the Jodi Arias murder trial. This isn't just about a brutal killing. This is about obsession, manipulation, and a woman who turned a courtroom into her personal stage. What you're about to hear will show you how far someone will go when they can't accept that it's over. Travis Victor Alexander was living the American dream. Born in 1977 in Riverside, California, he had overcome a troubled childhood to become a successful motivational speaker and salesman for prepaid legal services. At 30 years old, Travis was charismatic, religious, and ambitious. He owned a beautiful home in Mesa, Arizona, drove a BMW, and had big plans for his future. Travis was also a devout Mormon who took his faith seriously. He was looking for the right woman to marry in the temple and start a family. That's when he met Jodi Arias at a company conference in Las Vegas in September 2006. Jodi was 26, stunningly beautiful, and seemed perfect for Travis. She had blonde hair, blue eyes, and a smile that could light up a room. Born in 1980 in Salinas, California, Jodi had bounced between jobs, waitressing, working at a restaurant, selling photographs. She was searching for purpose in her life, and Travis seemed like the answer to her prayers. Their connection was instant and intense. Travis was immediately attracted to Jodi's beauty and free spirit. She was different from the conservative Mormon women he usually dated, more adventurous, more willing to push boundaries. For Jodi, Travis represented everything she wanted: success, stability, and status. But from the very beginning, their relationship was built on deception. Jodi told Travis she was interested in converting to Mormonism, attending church services, and learning about the faith. What Travis didn't know was that Jodi was studying his religion not out of genuine belief, but as a way to get closer to him. Within months, Jodi had completely restructured her life around Travis. She moved from California to Mesa, Arizona, to be closer to him. She started selling the same legal services, adopted his interests, and even began dressing differently to appeal to his taste. But Travis began to see red flags. Jodi was possessive, jealous, and demanding. She would show up at his house unannounced, go through his phone, and interrogate him about other women. She hacked into his social media accounts, reading his private messages and monitoring his online activity. Friends and family noticed the change in Travis when Jodi was around. The confident, outgoing man became nervous and stressed. Jodi would dominate conversations, contradict him in public, and create drama wherever they went. By February 2007, Travis had had enough. He broke up with Jodi, telling her that while he cared about her, she wasn't the woman he wanted to marry. For Travis, it was over. For Jodi, it was just the beginning of her campaign to win him back. After the breakup, Jodi's behavior became increasingly erratic and disturbing. She refused to accept that the relationship was over, continuing to call, text, and email Travis constantly. When he tried to ignore her, she would create fake emergencies to get his attention. Jodi began stalking Travis systematically. She would park outside his house for hours, watching his comings and goings. She slashed his tires twice, forcing him to buy new ones. She broke into his house through the doggy door when he wasn't home, moving things around and taking personal items. The most disturbing incident occurred when Travis went on a date with another woman. Jodi somehow got into his house and was waiting in his bed when he returned home. She claimed she had fallen asleep, but Travis knew she was watching him. Travis confided in friends that he was becoming afraid of Jodi. He told them she was crazy and that he was worried about what she might do. He started locking his doors, changing his passwords, and warning new girlfriends about his psycho ex. But Travis made a fatal mistake. Despite knowing how dangerous Jodi could be, he continued to have an on and off sexual relationship with her. He would tell her to leave him alone, then respond to her late-night visits. This gave Jodi hope that they could still be together, fueling her obsession even more. By June 2008, Travis had finally decided to cut Jodi out of his life completely. He was planning to take another woman to Cancun for a romantic vacation. He had started seriously dating someone new and was ready to move on. Jodi couldn't handle the thought of Travis with another woman. On June 2, 2008, she rented a car in Redding, California, telling the rental company she would be staying local. Instead, she began a 1,000-mile drive to Mesa, Arizona. Jodi later claimed she took this trip spontaneously to visit friends in Utah, but evidence would show this was a carefully planned mission. She removed the license plates from the rental car, filled up multiple gas cans to avoid stopping at gas stations, and turned off her cell phone to avoid being tracked. On June 4, 2008, at around 4 p.m., Jodi arrived at Travis's house. Security footage and phone records would later prove she was there, despite her initial denials. What happened next was a confrontation that would end in brutal murder. The details of Travis Alexander's murder are graphic and disturbing. According to the evidence presented at trial, Jodi and Travis spent time together that afternoon, taking photos and being intimate. But something went wrong. At approximately 5:30 p.m., Travis was in his master bathroom shower when Jodi attacked him. The medical examiner determined that Travis suffered 27 stab wounds to his back and torso, a slit throat that went from ear to ear, and a gunshot wound to the head. The attack was prolonged and vicious. Travis tried to fight for his life, evidenced by defensive wounds on his hands. He managed to get out of the shower and tried to escape down the hallway, leaving a trail of blood. But Jodi continued her assault until Travis was dead. The most chilling piece of evidence was a photograph accidentally taken during the attack. Travis's camera had been knocked to the floor, and the movement triggered the camera to take a picture. The image showed Travis's face, terrified and bloody, with what appeared to be Jodi's foot in the frame. After murdering Travis, Jodi attempted to clean up the crime scene. She put his body in the shower, tried to wash away the blood, and deleted photos from his camera. But she missed the accidentally taken photo, which would become key evidence. Then came the performance that would shock the world. Jodi drove to Utah, where she had planned to visit friends all along. At least that was her alibi. She showed up acting completely normal, as if nothing had happened. When Travis's body was discovered on June 9th by concerned friends, Jodi was among the first people notified. Her reaction was Oscar-worthy. She cried, she screamed, she acted devastated by the loss of her dear friend. At Travis's funeral, Jodi sat in the front row, sobbing and comforting Travis's family. She even approached his grandmother, telling her how much she loved Travis and how sorry she was for their loss. No one suspected that the grieving ex-girlfriend was actually his killer. Police initially had no suspects in Travis's murder. The crime scene suggested a burglary gone wrong, with the killer taking Travis's ring and watch. But as investigators dug deeper, they uncovered the toxic relationship between Travis and Jodi. The breakthrough came when police examined Travis's camera. Although Jodi had deleted the photos, digital forensics experts were able to recover them. The images told the story of that fatal afternoon, intimate photos of Jodi and Travis, followed by shower photos of Travis, and finally, the accidental photo taken during the attack. When police confronted Jodi with this evidence, she told her first lie. She was never at Travis's house on June 4th. When that lie fell apart, she told her second lie. She was there, but two masked intruders broke in, killed Travis, and let her go. Finally, faced with overwhelming evidence, Jodi told her third and final story. She killed Travis in self-defense after he attacked her in a violent rage. The Jodi Arias trial began in January 2013 and quickly became a media circus. Jodi testified for 18 days, longer than any defendant in Arizona history. She tried to portray herself as a victim of domestic violence, claiming Travis was abusive and controlling. But the prosecution painted a different picture. They showed the jury evidence of Jodi's stalking, her lies to police, and the brutal nature of the murder. They argued that this was not self-defense, but a premeditated murder committed by a woman who couldn't accept rejection. The jury didn't buy Jodi's story. On May 8, 2013, they found her guilty of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Jodi Arias thought she could manipulate everyone, Travis, the police, the jury, and the public. But in the end, the evidence spoke louder than her lies. Travis Alexander's murder serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the person who claims to love you the most is the one who will hurt you the worst. If this case shocked you, subscribe to Crime Secrets for more deep dives into the criminal mind, because sometimes the most dangerous person in your life is the one who refuses to let you go.